What's up, y'all? Welcome to the More Than the Coach podcast. And this your host, Coach Marshall. Tonight, y'all, I got a special show. Look like I lost one of my guests. Let me see. He got to join us back. But I got a special show tonight, y'all. And this show real dear to me. Reason being, military guy. So y'all gonna enjoy this. But before we get going, y'all, I'm gonna introduce my guests and I'm gonna bring them on. First, we'll start with Dr. Christine Dillard Jackson. Welcome to the More Than the Coach podcast. You know, I had to throw the beginning and in the end, let them everybody know, that ain't me now. So as you to the show, I appreciate. Then I'm gonna bring in no other than my guy, Mr. George. Yeah, I like the picture, bro.
Yeah, what up? What up?
All right. And here we go next. He back in here. We got Mr. Sean Weaver coming on to the More Than the Coach podcast. We appreciate you for joining us tonight.
No problem.
We got a youngster coming in joining us tonight, Mr. Antonio Jesus Gonzalez. Just the young
What's good? What's going on, everybody? Coach, thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. And then we got the old man himself, my partner, my brother, Mr. Jody Nunn. Boy, you look different on there. So welcome to the show, Ed. We appreciate you, man, for coming on with us tonight. And as well, you see your man look like a little kid, but oh well, them was the good days. Hey, but before we get going, y'all, into this show for real, I want to dedicate tonight's show to our brother, our friend, a father, a husband, an uncle, man, everything, a pillar to our community of Buena Vista. And, this one hurts, and it hurt like hell, y'all. But we want to dedicate this to our brother, Odie Pruitt II. So this one for you tonight, Odie. We love you.
He's the third.
The third, excuse me. The third. I better not get that right because he'll get on me if he knew that. Yeah. So once again, y'all, welcome to the podcast tonight on the More Than the Coach podcast. I appreciate all y'all spending time with me tonight. Before we get going, I'm gonna show this video. I just want to get everybody see what y'all think about it, and then we're gonna get into this show. All right. Well, in my big hands moving things. What happened? Hold on, y'all. Technical difficulties. Y'all can hear me and see me?
Yeah, you're like you froze, but we good.
Yeah,
there we go.
Actually, I don't think. I know it's not debatable. You suffer loss the day you get out. The day you go from active to veteran, that day, you suffer loss. Loss of job, literally. Loss of friends. It's not going to be the same. Loss of identity. You have all these losses. It's loss.
I got everybody back in?
Yeah.
So, all right, there we go. So, that was a video that I found that was kind of touching and powerful to me. What y'all think about that?
Spot on.
Yeah, there's truth to it.
Yeah, it has a lot of truth to it. A whole lot of truth to it. Because it's like it's different now that I'm, when I got out, the camaraderie is not the same, even though you may pick up friends or coworkers, things of that nature. It just ain't the same.
That's true.
Yeah, you speak a whole nother language when you become a civilian. You gotta, tone it down. You used to using 4-letter words all the time, and it was just the norm wherever you were at on base, whether you were in a public, a professional setting, recreational setting. It was just the norm. So,
right, that's right.
I think the biggest part of. Oh, go ahead. Doctor.
I was just going to say it's probably out of all you guys kind of opposite for me. Instead of a loss, I looked at it as an escape. It was a whole different ball game for me. So when I left the service, it was for my life.
Wow.
Wow. That's deep there.
Yeah.
Yeah, what
Go
I was
ahead.
gonna say was, I think the biggest part for me was, I just experienced the transition. I separated in December, so I think the biggest part for me that I've been dealing with the last few months is loss of identity. I know who I was before the military, and that's the only thing I feel like that's keeping me afloat. But I can definitely see how some people fall off a cliff afterwards.
It's true, man. If you got anything to that video?
He's on mute.
Oh, we can't hear you. Okay, his earpod. Can you hear us now? No, we still can't hear you. You're still muted, bro, on your end. It looked like you unmuted, but I don't know. Until it get his thing right, y'all. Let's see. Yeah, he's still talking, but we can't hear him. So let's start with Dr. Chris. Where did you serve, and where did you serve, and when did you serve?
I actually went into the delayed entry program. So I signed up like summer of 87, but I didn't go in until September. I also went in under the bonus program. If you went in, all you had to do was 2 years and you get all this money for school. So it was a motivator to go in. So my first duty station was Fort Jackson, South Kakalaki. And then I went to Fort Gordon, then Fort Knox. Then I was overseas for 2 years in Korea, right on the DMZ. And I came back to Fort Campbell.
Okay.
From 87 to 91.
All right, cool. Go ahead, Mr. Beard.
For me, I went in 88. Pretty much right after high school. I think I went in August. I went to Fort Lauderdale to the Woods for my basic training, and then I went from there to Huntsville for my MOS training. My first duty was over in Germany, which was for an 18-year-old, little knucklehead like myself was it was different because you couldn't just roll over and make a phone call right away. But even after that though, I got out and went National Guard back here and back home. And I did that for a year. And part of what you were saying, because my identity was military, I didn't like it. I didn't like being a civilian. So I actually went back in, and then I ended up in Alaska. I don't know how that happened, but I went from Alaska, then I went down to NTC for like 6 months while they were trying to find me another spot. And then I ended up in Fort Lewis, where I finished out from like the end of 92 to 97. So, yeah.
Okay. Wow. Mr. Weaver?
For me, I was in the delayed entry program as well. I graduated high school, went to a small college out in California, got in trouble for recruiting violations. I didn't want to come back home to Saginaw, so I joined the Navy. That was in 89. I graduated in 87, 89. Actually joined in Los Angeles, but when I came back home, I left from the Lansing recruiting station.
Okay.
So from there, I went to San.
Froze.
Yeah, he froze now.
It froze up. And technology be killing me.
So
that shirt he wearing is killing it
so
though.
from there, I went to San Diego. I had all my training and everything from San Diego. I was a corpsman. I went to a corps school in San Diego. Went to FMF training at Camp Pendleton, which made me become part of the Marines. So when I did go active as far as deployment, I went with the Marines. So I went to Persian Gulf, Germany, went to the Persian Gulf War. I was there. I got kind of pulled out. There was an individual who was there. He got injured. So when I went to the Persian Gulf, the unit was already intact. So they looking at me like, this dude just left his office yesterday. So I had to kind of prove myself and my worth to the unit. So it was gravy after that. But yeah, I don't have nothing bad to say about the military at all. Marines know how to treat the doc real good. I'll say that.
That's all right. What about you, Pete?
When we graduated in June, I left shortly after. I went in August I did my basic training and my AIT in Fort Bliss, Texas. I was in air defense, so that's where air defense school was at. And when I left from there, I came home for.
It tripping.
Can't hear you, Mr. Joe.
Nope. He went out again. Yep, he got to go kick back out and join in. Go ahead. We still can't hear you, bro.
Okay.
Now he was just on with me Sunday night. Now he got a bad reception. That's terrible.
Go
ahead. Yeah, it's not working. He'll get it. Go ahead, Antonio.
Okay. Yeah. Yep. So I joined in 2015 at the beginning, 2015, and you know, when I went to MEPS or whatnot, I scored high on my ASVAB. Coach would tell you I was a straight A student for a lot of my school days, and I scored high on the ASVAB. And I thought the recruiter said you can have any job you want. And when I actually got the list, it was 2 jobs on there. It was cook and janitor, basically undesignated.
What?
Yes.
Wow.
I had multiple things holding me back. You know, but my color blindness was one of them. But regardless, I picked be a cook, and out of my 9 years of serving in the Navy, I've cooked a total of 6 months. I have not. Yeah, right. I have not been in any. I've been in any other. I've been in financial positions, records management. I've been in inventory. You know, just stacking boxes. But I've been supervising cashiers, supervising. I worked at the President's Hospital, Walter Reed. That's where I just came from. I worked at George H.W. Bush, which aircraft carrier, biggest ship in the world, one of 11, something like that.
Okay.
But so my naval experience has been quite light, I feel like, when it comes to you guys' experience. Okay, I had a job. You guys had some life on the line type situations.
You're still a soldier at the end of the day.
Right.
And thank you for your service as well.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we hear you good.
Yeah, every time my phone ring, I notice it knock off my mic for some reason. Every time my phone ring and I reject the call, it mess up my link on here for some reason.
Oh, okay then. Well, go ahead and finish then.
As I was saying, I left directly from home for a short stand for about a week, and then went right over to Germany, which I was there, like George said, it was a culture shock. Actually, when I left home, it was my first time being on an airplane or being away from home, so it's kind of a shock there. I make it worse. As soon as I got there, my unit was in the field, so they flew me in a helicopter and dropped me off out in the middle of the field where on the Black Hawk where my unit was at. So that was a little different too. That part was fun, but when I first got there, I wouldn't even leave the barracks for a while, man. It just was a culture shock to my friends. They're finally like, man, you coming out with us tonight. You getting out of this barracks. And after that, it was on. I was out ever since. But when I was there, I went over to I did a lot of training exercises because I was one of the best at my job. So I flew to Greece over there to compete in the Top Gun competition for my job. I flew to another part of Germany called Totendorf, and I got second in the whole country, all in Germany both times. I never got to win, but I got second out of everybody in my job and all of Europe. So that was cool. And I went to Iraq also me and Kev used to communicate while we was there because he went a little bit before me, so we both was over there in Desert Storm, and it was kind of a shock over there because I got left by my unit, almost died once. So my one of my good friends, one of my buddies, he had to put his gun to his sergeant head and make him come back to get me because my vehicle was broken down, and all they're telling me is you better not leave that vehicle with no weapon system. But I'm telling him you can go to hell. Well, I care about what you can do to me when I get back, if I make it back. So once I got back there, they had to move me to a different unit because I kept jumping on my sergeant every time I seen him because he was the one that left me out there. So that was kind of like Chris said, I was running away from something and leaving something because when you go to war with somebody, you form a bond with them that you don't have with anybody else because y'all really learn to trust and lean on each other and depend on that person. And I was leaving there, getting away from trouble too if I really get myself into something. So. But overall, it was a good experience. A lot of times, I kind of wish I would have stayed in the military because it was like George said, that separation from it when you used to be in the soldiers, something totally different. But I really enjoyed it. Even the time in Iraq, I appreciated and enjoyed that because even though stuff was going on, I still found time to have fun and chill over there and everything. So it was still straight.
Oh yeah, and me myself, once again in '88, left Saginaw and went right to the Army. I went to Fort Leonard Wood, Lost in the Woods.
Lost in the Woods.
I seen fighters big as my hand.
Man, yes, sir.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and after that, I went to AIT in Fort Lee, Virginia. I got into supply, but then, like you said, after being there, you went to war. You ain't had no job with supply. You went right to the front lines and did whatever you had to do to come back home. It was a funny thing. I did see a couple of y'all. I know we met each other. I think like you left after a year and a half over there. I was coming out of hotel, seeing the real web, and he was like, "Ick, around here, they finna leave. Let's go catch them." But y'all was already gone. So, but after that, I came home. I tried the National Guard. National Guard kind of like pissed me off, especially after being, so locked in on something. And then you go into the National Guard. It was a joke almost,
Yeah.
You hardcore, you doing things, and these guys sitting around, not doing what they supposed to. So I separated with that and been home ever since, So, but I enjoyed the military. Sometimes I wish I had never left neither. I wanted to make a career. I didn't want to do no more wars. I'll be honest.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
That was my thing after Iraq. I was ready to go, man. But it's crazy. I was all hoorah before then. My unit wasn't going because we was already forward deployed, being that we was in Germany. And I had put in paperwork to volunteer to go with other units because I was all gung-ho then and wanted to go, but my unit ended up going and everything. But I did see Dion Conway's the only one I saw over there from home. I remember running into him and everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's cool though. So I asked y'all, how has it been? I know a lot of us been home for a while. We got some doctors in here, some important people, businessmen. But when you first came home, how did the military? Anybody can start.
I think. Well, for me, it was the transition was it was a little weird, but what I did in the military, I've kind of been basically doing some of the same things since I've been out, which is, working in warehousing, doing inventory, things like that. So it kind of trained me to be able to do those things. So that's one of the things I can say that I really kept from when I was in the military was that training. So I want to say this too. When I was over there in Germany, I was up in Bill Flicken, up in the middle of nowhere. And I was in the gym, how we do BB, we balling, and I heard somebody scream out, George, and in the military, don't nobody call you by your first name.
Never.
So I knew who it was, knew me. I turned around and it was Eric King.
Wow.
So Eric King was up there, because like I said, it's a big training facility, and he was up there training. So he just happened to be, up there working out at the gym as well. That was the last time I saw the brother, but it was just a trip because when I saw him, I turned around, he looked like a goddess, because he was already big and built. So he walking up to me like, I think he had like a 20 pack. He was big. He was big as hell.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was just crazy. But like I said, back to what we were talking about. It was the transition was not being with people like Jody was saying that was, or you were saying that was locked in, and when you wanted to do something, you were serious about it, and not laxy daisy, because that's how you get it done. All right, what's next? So but yeah, that was me.
Okay.
For me, it was like transition, like going from a certain regimen you used to. Like I'm used to getting up at 6 a.m. doing PT, then going to breakfast, and then going to do my job and getting out, having all this free time with nothing to do. But I'm still used to getting up early. Like I told my daughter, she was in the Navy. I'm like, how do y'all sleep so late? How do y'all not get up? That's go show them Navy. Well, I ain't gonna say negative about the Navy because we got Navy fellas here, but show the difference between us. We up doing PT and grunting every morning and doing stuff. Y'all chilling, you know what I'm saying? How right to this day I get on about how can y'all sleep all day like that? I'm used to getting up early and being late. It drives me crazy to be late and not be on time somewhere, not being early. But this being late is like next nature to them. It just drives me crazy, man.
That's funny. Go ahead. Anyone of my Navy guys want to respond?
Oh no, it's all good. You can say whatever you want to say about the Navy because I say a lot about them too.
Hey, but man, my daughter was on that boat. I think you said you was on. She was on the George A.W. Bush Navy carrier.
Nice. Okay.
Yep, she's on there.
Yep, I was on there from 15 to 20. So I was fresh off, but regardless, my experience so far, separating, it has been very up and down. Certain things have been going for me, and then I pushed in every direction. I pushed to try to start back school. I applied for it. I pushed to try to start training programs, multiple training programs. I've pushed to try to get a job, just get a regular job. I've applied to tons of jobs, but it seems like an issue right now that there's a lot of veteran quote unquote veteran programs, because, and I put quote unquote because a lot of these programs will say they're for veterans, and then you apply for them and they don't even respond back to you. So like all these, like, and I think a lot of companies or businesses are doing it just because they want the recognition, I guess. I'm not sure, but yeah, this it's kind of nerve-wracking, especially for somebody who's trying to, transition and actually, it like I'm willing to do every single thing. Like you talking about waking up late. I wake up early still and take my son to school at 6 a.m. Because I want to be the one to get up and go and do something. And so I'm not the lazy person who's sleeping in until 10 a.m., 11 a.m., whatever, but I'm having a hard time with this transition on actually trying to find something to start. So it seems like the easiest thing for me to do here is just to go to school full time.
And Kev, it's one thing that I have a problem with, man. I noticed that bothered me is like, I don't know if you and George had the same problem, like coming back from war, man, and like having PTSD, and it's like people not understanding what you go through and what you're feeling. They thinking like PTSD ain't real or something, like some kind of imaginary thing you can just snap out of, like, oh, ain't no wrong. You got a choice to be this way. No, you don't have a choice. They haven't seen what we've seen and been through what we've been through. The human body ain't supposed to do things like that. Like of course, the first night you hear bombs dropping, you shaking, you're scared, but next thing, bullets going on around you is normal. It's just like you're sitting here right now. It ain't affecting you as much. You just used to it, and your body shouldn't be used to that. But you come home and you saying you got PTSD, you're different. Anything might set you off, and wherever you need that time to yourself, sometime that quiet space, and people don't understand. They think that just some joke is not real. That's kind of hard to deal with.
That is true.
A lot of people also think that PTSD is only related to being in war and have been through and got shot up. But I myself suffer. I'm a disabled veteran as well, and I suffer from PTSD. As I told you before, I was on the DMZ. And so I was in communication operator, basically back in the day, where we still had to use punch cards to run the computers. And and so basically my job was to get messages from everywhere and send them to I was the email. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Right now. But I went through sexual harassment, actually. I was molested and everything on the DMZ. I was one out of 80 guys on the DMZ, the whole platoon guys except for myself. And I had a clearance, like a super security clearance. So I was able to kind of like drift around like a civilian because, you know, I had all these clearances and stuff. But, you know, you go in there and you're thinking that you have these people who are supposed to have your back, supposed to be your brother and your friend. And when they turn on you, it's just like, you know, I had to fight for my life to get out of there.
Wow.
I was transferred where there was more women, which was Camp Red Cloud at the time. It was more women there. And so I found a little safety there, but it's like, no, bro, I can't even trust you right now. You know, so I'm out of here. So with all the stress of going through fighting through you know, trying not to get raped, you know what I'm saying? Just fighting all the time. It's just I just couldn't take it anymore. So I ended up getting out right at Desert Storm in 91. And yeah, I came home and, you know, kind of like at first I was starting to be to myself, but I found service to be my saving grace. You know, like I'm not at first, of course, you know, you think you're the only one, and then to have other people who go through the same things. And then I just wanted to be of service to people since I couldn't serve. And that's how I got into, you know, teaching and politics and things like that because of that experience. So
and it's sad how many women went through experiences like yours and their story not told and they haven't helped them, done anything for them. That's just horrible. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's hard to even I've only been the last maybe 2-3 years that I was able to get the benefit because I had to try to prove prove it. It's like, okay, I'm telling you, that's the proof, you know. So fortunately, during the time when I was in the service, you know, I went to a sick call and you know, told them my troubles and everything. And so that because of that record I had, that would enable me to become disabled.
That's crazy. Chris, I helped a guy a couple years ago. He was a Vietnam veteran. It was a guy who was sexually assaulted by superiors, and I helped him get his compensation and stuff a few years back.
Yeah,
I'm sorry you had to go through that, man. That's horrible.
That's horrible. People are supposed to have your back that you depend on, lean on, that they praying on you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I had an issue when I was in Iraq. You know, I'm young, missing home. It was Christmas time, couldn't talk to nobody. And I never forget one of the sergeants kept calling me that word. You know, so I'm sitting here, I'm already depressed. I'm listening to my New Edition cassette tape.
I'm laughing because
that's what I used to listen to, my New Edition on my little box. And he kept calling me the N-word, like, it's okay, you gonna go home one day, maybe not. Now I'm sitting there while you see all these people in Iraq playing volleyball and jogging and sunbathing. You know, brothers like me, I was keeping that M16 and that M60 clean. And I just kept on, and I was like, man, you leave me alone. And he kept going to the point, you know, and he was older than I was too. And he kept going to that point saying that word. Next thing you know, I locked and loaded. They had to tackle me, you know, because I was ready to end his life for the disrespect. And we went through a lot of that crap, you know. So I personally feel that any man, woman that went and served this country should be at 100% when they first. You know, it's sad that we got to fight, we got to prove, spend our money that we earn to get lawyers to fight for what's really ours. You know, so that's one of my biggest gripes with the military right now. You know,
Kev, one time in the past, they had made it where it was easier for Caucasian people to get their compensations than black people. They was trying to say that black people had a pre-existing behavior problem, and Obama had did something to straighten out the end that where they couldn't keep doing that. They was discriminating against us, saying we had a pre-existing behavior problem, and Obama had said no, he put an end to that before he was even in office. When he was a senator back then, he said no, you ain't gonna keep doing this. So he had put in a bill to get away with us, end that. That's what they was doing to us.
Wow. Any of y'all got anything y'all want to add?
Yeah, mine was when I was up in I was stationed in Fort Lewis. You know, my squad leader. You know, I had a squad leader, white guy. And his thing was, you know, he pulled me aside and told me, you know, he said a little joke about, you know, how, you know, cowboys went up against all these, you know, but they never went up against, you know, cowboys and niggers, you know. And I was at that young age where I was like, look, I said, I don't care who you are, you say something like that to me again, I'm going to jail.
Mhm.
And I had to go to my first sergeant, who the first time I said something to him about it, he was like, well, are you sure that he meant it? I said, well, he said it, so he had to meant it. You know, how can you say something like that to one of your soldiers and think that's going to be okay?
Exactly.
So he didn't say it to me again, but he said that word around me again, and I had to let, you know, my first I know, I said, look, if you don't move me, then it is definitely going to be an issue, you know. And so they didn't put me out of the. They didn't. What thing that pissed me off the most was they really didn't do nothing to him, but they was ready to do something with me. And I said, well, I don't want to go nowhere else. I want to finish my time and do what I got to do, and then be done with it. But I don't want to be up under him, because if he tells me something to do, I'm not going to do it. I'm just not. You know, that respect was gone. And you know, and that was an issue, because it had always been, you know, like an underlying of racism, you know, that's in the military, that, you know, you don't want it to be that way, but you can always tell, because, you know, okay, I'm gonna have you out here, doing guard over here, but I'm gonna have you doing trash. But why am I always doing trash? And oh boy, out here sunbathing.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it was always that underlying thing.
That's
But
true.
you know, for the most part, though, it was still an experience that I'm glad I had, because it also prepared me for out here in these streets, because these cats out here just as bad. You know, but the laws are a little different. You know, I can cuss these cats out and call it a day without going to the brig. You know, but you know, it was just different. It kind of taught you how to maintain yourself a little bit. But yeah, when I was a little younger snapper, you know, hey, it's going to be a problem.
I saw
Yeah.
that a lot in Iraq, George. They would try to have a lot of brothers over there. You know, they had to burn and stir that crap instead of having the white boys. They just try to have a lot of brothers doing that.
Yeah.
Stirring,
You know, so I tell my son all the time, like, look, you know, I used to stir shit. So all this little stuff, you know, it ain't hard. You know, I used to stir shit.
And that was the worst
You know,
thing. But I will say, in my situation, the sergeant that did do that with me said that to me. He was demoted, and I ended up outranking him by the time we left Iraq. You know,
that's what's up.
that was cool. But I never said too much to him no more. I just wanted him when we got back to the States. You know, I'll never say what happened, but I got my revenge. You know how that go.
But I will say that the military is very segregated, and I'll say the streets of Saginaw prepares you for anything. So when I got to the military, you had all of these so-called guys that they was in gangs and they supposed to be tough and all this stuff. When you got in boot camp, you found out who was a dog and who wasn't. And a lot of those guys who thought they was tough when they came in, they was the ones in the corner crying at night. So I had the opportunity to go to Marines as well. So when you're a corpsman, you have to do like a version of the Marine boot camp. So there's a huge difference in Marines and Navy. So they take their job more seriously. And when you go to the field, there is no color. When you go to war with the Marines, you're just a Marine. You're not a black Marine, white Marine. You're just a Marine.
That's true.
The Navy is not like that. So when I was in, you had the old regime getting out, battling with my age group. You had the fat, lazy guys that was just trying to scam out of their PT, and they just getting a waiver for their PT every year and all this. Anything they could do, and it was so many of them, you couldn't advance because they was holding all the rank and they weren't doing nothing.
Yeah.
So the Navy finally got rid of them. They started booting them all out. So, but yeah, there's a huge segregation line. You wouldn't think that about the military, but if you got a small group like the Navy, there was very few black people in the medical corps. So we all just hung together because that's all. There's about maybe 6 of us, so we had to look out for each other. But you'd be surprised.
Wow.
I tell y'all what, y'all want to know something bad in boot camp? Imagine being in formation like they do, and they throwing your mail out to everybody, throwing it in there after you go get it, and they pick up mail, Gary, throw it, and read and realize your name is Jody. I call hell after that. Well, oh shit, Jody right here. Oh,
Right.
hell, under my nose the whole time.
They're
Oh,
gonna-
man, it was-
And you know what, Jody? Be honest
You
with
the one after my girl.
Hey, I used to hate you when I was in boot camp.
That's wild. I didn't know how far that joke went back.
yeah, oh, yeah,
You
oh,
know,
I
that's
didn't know.
serious.
oh, yeah.
Jody got your girl
You.
to go.
Mhm,
And every time he write, and I get a letter,
mhm.
oh, Private Marshall, Mr. Jody is writing you personally. And you got to stand in formation, that letter come flying, hit you in the head. Oh yeah, it was crazy, man.
Mhm.
Yeah, Jody, you should have changed your name when you went, bro, because I hated you, bro, when I was in. I ain't gonna lie. Best friend or not, I was like, man, Jody.
That's
This-
that. Let me. Can't wait to see him.
So, is it anything that y'all, I know a lot of us older with Mr. Jesus, but anything that y'all miss about the military, though, now that you older and you think about it?
Those bonds,
Mhm.
bonds that I got cats, to this day, outside of y'all that I still kick it with, that if they were to call me, I'm there. You know what I mean? So those, I got the, and I haven't, like I said, once I got out, I haven't really made that connection again since.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it's like, you different. But this cats right now that, he'll call me 2, 3 o'clock in the morning because he over in Fort Lewis. I'm like, look, man, I know it's earlier for you, but it's you. I ain't no rooster no more. You can't be calling me like that. But I still answer. That's my dude. But it's just one of those things. But
Yeah, you miss that camaraderie. You don't find friends like that again, except for the ones that I had before I went. I got the same close friends like that. But new people, no, you don't find. I still communicate with the one guy that, that risked it all to put his gun in Sergeant Head for me to save me. I still communicate with him all the time. But yeah, you don't meet them kind of people again, except for the ones that you had prior to that already. I got the same group of friends I had forever. But one thing about us, man, you notice how tight. We don't have no problem. The BV family, all of us, the class, everybody is like tight. No beef, no problems. It's all tight. So we still got that love with everybody from there, man.
And so that's why you said it. I was like, it'll be an honor, for this, because it is, that's what it is, man.
Right.
I love seeing it. I love seeing my people, and this right here is, it is. I think all of us joined at one point or another. It seemed like, but and I didn't realize how many of us did join, but a lot of us did serve, because I was hoping I was gonna go right across the street. It didn't work out that way.
That's right.
But yeah. So, but the experience, I wouldn't change it for the world, because like Dr. Weaver said, BV, living in that environment, because we grew up, with the Jamrods and Gonzalez's, so we knew white folk, and we knew different races. So when I went, it wasn't like, well, I ain't never seen somebody Hispanic, or I ain't never been around somebody called, that's what we grew up with. So it wasn't difficult for me to be able to meet somebody where they was at. You know what I mean? So that was a cool part. But like I said, it just, now it's just, I just haven't really connected with anybody like I have since I was in the military.
Okay.
I think the only good part for me was that because of my MOS, it was fairly new at the time, of course, with the programming and technology and all of that stuff. It kind of put me in the game of the different platforms that was coming forth. So I had a little jump on being able to write programs and just kind of kept the computer game. And I think that's today that contribute to my interest in technology.
I think if you was in there today, you'll be making a killing with everything about technology and what you used to do, what they do now. Because all it is now, pushing the button, you'll be making a killing there.
She be
That's
running.
cool.
She be full bird kernel dealer or somebody.
Yeah, be one of them birds out there.
Yeah.
That's right. What about
But
you,
y'all bring
Mr.
up a
Weaver?
good point. And going to the military, you don't really find those really true friends that are loyal. Like I have the same friends that I have, of course, before I went, but most of the guys that I associate with now, they either family or military. I don't really have no new friends that I've just clicked with since I've been out the military because we just ain't on the same page. You know, some cats
Right.
who've been to the military, they have a whole different agenda. They got a whole outlook on life. They got a whole way of different kind of mentality of the way they see the world. So I really don't have nothing in common with them. So if you're not family or a veteran or old friend, I really don't deal with you like that, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Mr. Gonzalez?
Okay, I think we stay. I think we kind of got away from the question. I don't remember what it was, Coach. Be honest.
Anything? Well, you just
Experience
came home. You just
How did that
came home a lot you missing. You know, a lot of us been out for years. Actually, what did you miss about the service though?
Put my boots on. That was the question. I miss putting my boots on. Honestly, I got so used to it. I just wanted to. You know, it felt good to put them on and get to work. And you know, it's go time right when you lace them up. You know, and I haven't done that. I haven't been able to do that yet as of right now. You know, and I've been studying information technology and I'm not gonna wear boots, you know, going to a help desk position, and I'm kind of sad about that.
Did you have them boots fish shine you love putting on?
Oh, 100%. Oh, my uniform was always top tier, 100%.
Crispy.
Yes.
Yeah, you had to be. Yeah. See, there you go, Coach. Yeah,
We still from the
he was doing a rap video on his Navy uniform. Yeah,
he was a rap video.
I think he was a rapper or something after he got off duty, man.
I bet you he didn't have no crease.
No, I had no crease.
Oh, I had creases. I had creases. I was a cook. I was a cook. I had all my. I was a cook that worked in the office. So
that's crazy.
You know, yeah. So I was a cook that worked in the office. So I had the 3 creases going down my polo t-shirt.
That's
a polo t-shirt.
What?
Polo t-shirt, yeah.
He said it out loud too. He said polo.
He did.
Wow.
We wore Dookie Brown t-shirts.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I wouldn't
they had a polo shirts when I was in the Navy.
So here's the crazy thing. I remember when I was in Desert Storm, you know, because I was out in the middle of nowhere, and I was running out of brown. I love you. the brown shirts, right? The brown t-shirts. So I hit my mom. I said, "Hey, I need you to send me some t-shirts." So what she did was she went out, bought maybe 3-4 packs of t-shirts, but she couldn't find a brown. So she she called herself Dinah Brown. So she dyed a brown. But by the time they got to me, it was like burnt orange. So I'm sitting there like, okay, what am I going to do with this? So I wore the Mo's anyway. I was like, you're going to have to say what you're going to have to say because my mama sent me this. Okay.
Hey, y'all, them care packages we used to get in the desert was hidden, boy. Your parents in the care package, all them snacks and goodies.
Yeah, man. She used to lay me out. I used to have Kool-Aid. I used to send me Kool-Aid and them cup of noodles. That's all I needed.
But it was one thing I asked for. Everybody thought I was crazy. And I was like, send me some Long Johns. And they was like, what you need Long Johns for? You in the desert. I said, it's cold.
Man, it be so cold at night.
They don't know, man. Hey, you wake up with frost. And you're like, what?
You might be 120 in the daytime. At night, it's below. I used to sit my drink on top of my truck. It's be ice and I wake up. It's be so cold out there.
Crazy. It's yeah.
So I just got a couple more questions for y'all, and then I'm gonna let y'all get on to y'all night because this been beautiful. It's been an honor, y'all. But I gotta ask you guys, what would y'all say to us, another vet that's out here struggling right now, giving them advice? Because somebody gonna hear this. You know, they hear us laughing and joke about some things, but there's somebody out here too that's struggling that might need some advice.
Yes,
What would y'all say?
I say seek help. We got to make ourselves available, man, for these other veterans and everybody that might need help. People might need help getting their conversation or need somebody to talk to that's on the verge of suicide, about to lose it all. Need somebody to talk to for some resources and help. So we need more things like this, man. And get together some kind of forum to make ourselves available, some kind of contact form to help other veterans out.
Mm-hmm.
I also think working at the VA, man, there's a lot of veterans who haven't humbled themselves yet to actually reach out and get the treatment they need. They feel like, they ain't gonna get it, or they don't want to deal with the VA. I can say now the VA is a new administration. People are getting their compensations way more quickly. They have more underlying conditions. They make it a lot easier. They've broadened the gap of what is considered service connected and what isn't.
Right.
So you just have to get out and just, like you guys said, spread the word and just communicate that knowledge on to the guy standing on the corner that's homeless. All they need to do is come in and register. That's all they got to do.
Right. That's what's up. Yeah.
Hey, Kev, can you do one of these where when you put the word out and the veterans they can send in a question to ask us questions, we can answer them right here live on here for them. They got questions, what to do, any problem, need help doing something, they can just shoot it out there. We can answer them right then for them or something.
Yep, I'll make sure we got that set up when I do the second one with vets too.
Yeah. So and don't be because the one thing that I have always been proud of doing is when I look for a job, is putting that on there that I was I'm a veteran, because they look at it in two things, that you should be, like you say, Jody, ready to come to work, on time and able to do a job or do a task, because college, graduate college, it was cool, but I believe I got more jobs because they said, "Oh, you're a veteran."
Yep.
Then okay, because I haven't done it. I haven't done one job yet in my degree, but I've always had steady work, and one of the things was that I always asked you, so where did you serve and what did you do? So I think that's another thing. Don't be afraid of that.
Right. Yep.
A lot of the people that I've worked with comes with, well, I didn't really want to do it because I don't feel like I'm needy, or I don't feel like it belongs to me. They feel like it's just for that person whose leg chopped off or something like that. Instead of, you are a veteran. Right. So the services and resources, I'm getting more involved in the resources that's available. Because I had no clue when I came out, and you don't know who to turn to and things like that. And I think that's part of it. Just the approach and the availability, they just don't know. So it's just, I think it's behoove us to kind of put more things out there whenever we know there's a resource available. Just kind of like shout it out there, put it out there, and just kind of, because I had no idea. Jody, that you was a veteran. I had no idea. Jordan, I had no idea. And so it's like, just to know the vets and who are the vets. And, I feel like, y'all my family too. BV all day.
Right. All day.
Just to know that kind of thing. So now this just inspired me. Like I hope you all are going to the reunion. That, just kind of do a little excerpt of all the veterans. Because at one time, Mr. Mativa, that's all we could do.
Yeah.
That's what they send you off.
That's it. Real. Yeah. You wanted to add anything to that, Jesus?
Not really. I mean, I feel like y'all was talking to me in a way, giving me advice. I just, newly minted veteran here, so I mean, the one thing that I always got from you, Coach, was don't wish for it, work for it. So that's I ain't been back here. What is the saying? Prayer without works is dead. Prayer without something like that.
Faith without works is dead.
Yeah.
Okay, faith without works, but you have to put the work in. You like you have to put the work in. You got to put. You kind of keep going. So that's my advice to me. Advice to any other veterans out there.
Okay. Jesus, with you being newly out, man, if anything wrong with you, you go to the VA, because I encourage my daughter to do it. She had like 60% now. Anything wrong with you, just got out of wherever. Go to the VA, man. Put in your claims, wherever. You
Pay
earned it.
attention-
All
pay attention
scars is
to your
not
body.
visible. Some of them inside, mental, you can't see. So you go, man.
Yes,
Yeah,
It's
sir.
pay
like
attention to
Yes,
your
sir.
body as a young vet. You may not feel it right now, but as you age,
Right.
all of that stuff creep up on you.
You get
And
our
you
age, you
can
feel
be
it all.
tied
Yeah.
into it. So you don't get your compensation right away. They do make you work for it. They ain't gonna just give it to you. You got to go through a process. They nickel and dime their percentages out, and it's not regular math. 1 + 1
No.
don't equal 2 in the VA
Nope.
math. So you gotta stand fast with it.
Yes, sir.
That's
Appreciate
right.
it.
And the last thing, and we'll start with Dr. Chris. What advice would you give to a young person today sitting here watching this saying, I want to go to the military? You know.
Don't do it. No, I'm just saying. Right now, it's
No.
kind of hard out there, you know, and and the world is unsettling right now. I know we have to have people to serve. I just want them to weigh their options, and you know, if that's something that they really want to do, just give them all the support needed so they can make it through.
Mm-hmm. George?
Well, my thing would be that test, that ASVAB test, take it serious. So, because, you know, this being real, I took it as a way to get out of class. Just real talk.
Hey,
you know
the
real
first
talk is
time,
that, and then Sergeant Woods. I don't know
Ron
if you
Woods
remember
got
her.
us all, Joe. Oh yeah, she got me too. Yeah.
Lord
Hey.
have mercy. Oh Lord, I still okay. Back to being serious,
Yeah.
but you know, take it serious. And like Doc said, you know, you weigh your options. You know, just don't say, well, I'm going in the Army or the Marines. You know, go Navy, go Air Force, because those are more technical. You know, you can find more technical things. Because the Army, they're gonna say, okay, you're gonna be technical, and then next thing you know, you grabbing somebody's weapon and cleaning it. But you just got to weigh your options, make sure that you take it serious when you do that test. So if and whenever you want to do something, you have more of an option. And when you take it as like anything else, that you use it as a stepping stone to something else.
That's true. Dr. Weaver?
I would say to a young person, if you're going to join the military today, and excuse my language, you can't half-ass it. You can't be on the fence about it. Either you want to join and serve, or you don't. You can't do both. You can't, because that's how you'll lose your life if you ain't all in when you go to war or something. You ain't paying attention to the training. You better be locked in. You know, the way the leadership now with the country, we could probably be at war at any given moment. So you better be locked in, and it better be something you truly, really want to do if you join today. Because they can tell you want to go to war, but as we all know who've been to war, we didn't all join thinking, I'm going to go to war in a couple of years. That never crossed our mind. We just end up in the middle of the desert one day, looking around, looking like, how did I get here? So,
That's right. For real. I just seen it on TV, but I'm in it.
Right.
Jody?
First thing, Joe, we said about Sergeant Woods, that's how she got me. I had a little crush on her, so she really got me up in there. But
Oh
anyway,
my God. Love. You know, I'm feeling like was that Private Benjamin? I'm looking for all the Sergeant Woods, and it's like.
But I would say, if anybody wanted to go, I would discourage them from the Army or the Marines, because I wouldn't want my kids boots on the ground in any one of them. I would want to go. I would encourage them to the Air Force, something like George said, there's some that's more technical jobs that'll convert when you get out, and some that I would feel safer with them in the Air Force. Because if you have been on the Air Force base, they far away from everything. They got the best of everything in the Air Force bases. I used to go party in Ramstein or something, and they got the best of everything in the Air Force. So I would say check into that if you must go to the military. Do that. Yeah.
What about
they
you?
Take care of them pilots and everybody around them. Yeah.
For sure. My advice to anybody that's thinking about joining would be to utilize the resources around you, like social media and stuff, and family that have gone before you, to get a good pros and cons list, actual hey, what's been going on the last few years. No disrespect or anything, but I think it'd be better for anybody to talk to me before they talk to you guys, just to get an idea of how has it been recently. Just how has it been recently? You
Tell
know,
them the truth, though. Tell them it's soft.
You said what, Coach?
Tell them it's soft now.
Oh yeah,
man.
So,
hey, Coach, my boot camp.
Where my card at? Where my card? I'm stressing. What? Stress.
hey, do the Navy do gas chamber?
Yeah.
Yes, we
Okay.
yes, sir. Yeah. My basketball coach's basketball practice were harder than my boot camp.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. That was absolutely ridiculous. But my advice to somebody that's thinking about joining, you know, find somebody that's recently joined and find somebody specifically in what branch you're looking at, and make sure you talk to that person and get all the details, because the recruiters don't keep it real with you at all.
No, they don't.
I can't lie to you. They told me I was going to Georgia. I'm happy I'm going to Georgia. I ended up in Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri.
Man.
They told me and Anthony Tinsley will be on the buddy plan. We both signed at the same time. He went one way, I went the other way, and I ain't seen him for doggone 8 years. That was crazy. So I tell everybody, go get a trade. If you don't want to go to college, go get a trade, learn a trade. You know what I'm saying? But you know, it's different though. The kids are different. I know a lot of the guys ain't built for that military, but the new military, I don't know. So hey, this been enlightening, y'all. I appreciate everybody tonight coming on, giving your opinion, speaking about our experience as veterans. You know, the young buck, hey, salute you, man, for your time. You know what I'm saying?
Coach. Yeah, thank you.
And don't give up neither, man. Keep pushing and keep fighting.
Oh, that's not an option, Coach. It's never been an option, Coach.
Right. So keep fighting, man. When them doors close in your face, I want to go be opening for you. So keep fighting. And don't
give me a call, Jesus.
Okay. All right, Doctor.
Yeah, reach out for me. I'm at the VA, so you got resources.
There you go.
I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
So real talk though, I don't know if you heard it, but Dr. Weavers, you got the best shirt on in the building.
Always.
Oh yeah. Hey, I'm waiting to wear mine to Texas next month to piss them off, kid.
That shirt is kicking.
I'm gonna wear mine through Texas next month to piss them off with it on.
George, it's a big old Michigan banner though.
I seen it. I seen it. Coach.
That's right,
man. But yeah,
so I'm gonna have to show you my cave one day, Kev.
You got a cane?
Cave, my man cave.
Oh, okay, yeah, I got to see that. Most definitely.
Yeah, word. This is what's up.
Hey, once again, though, y'all, it's an honor to have everybody on. I thank y'all for taking time. Thank y'all for y'all service again. And always, if there's anything you need from me, hey, y'all know how to get in contact with me. Reach out to me, and for anybody that's out there listening to us, hey, reach out to anybody for some advice, some help. We all here for you. We got 2 doctors on here that would love to give you some advice and help you. So please reach out. And once again, y'all, I thank y'all for supporting, joining the More Than the Coach podcast tonight. Y'all have a blessed night.
Yep, you too, bro.
Appreciate it again.
Yeah, all right.
All right. All right. Beautiful show. There we go. All right now. So y'all, as y'all seen it, we had a positive show about the military tonight. Some different aspects and different pointers on the military show. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Hope y'all learned something. Once again, I want to thank my guests, Mr. Jody Nunn, Dr. Sean Weaver, Jesus Gonzalez, my partner George Beard, and Dr. Christine Dillard for joining me tonight as we saluted some soldiers. We didn't have my brother Monty McKinley on here, but me and him got another show. He'll be on the second one that we'll be doing soon. And once again, y'all, I appreciate y'all. I thank y'all for supporting. And as always, y'all have a blessed night. And this your boy, Coach Marshall from the More Than the Coach podcast. Peace.